My 26F soon-to-be ex-husband 30M attempted suicide. We've been married for 3 years, together for 6 years. Thankfully no kids yet. 2 weeks ago, I found out that my husband was having an affair with his co-worker for 2 or 3 months. I packed my bags and within 2 days, I had moved out of his house completely. I haven't filed for divorce yet. The thing is, he never said a word to me. When I confronted him, he just sat there quietly like a statue. It was super frustrating because he wasn't giving me an explanation, not even a simple "I did it because." I called him a loser and left the next day. I didn't reach out, he didn't either. I thought maybe he has already invited the co-worker to live with him, now that the wife is finally out of the picture. His sister and I have always been super close and she called me recently. We chatted and I asked about him and the co-worker, but she told me that he has been following his normal routine as far as she knows. She doesn't visit him that often, so she didn't know much about how he's been doing. Well, I was angry and super upset. I thought that maybe he's still seeing the co-worker, but I had no one to confirm it. 2 days ago, he emailed me. It was long and confusing. I didn't gather much because it seemed his thoughts were all over the place and there were just so many grammar and spelling mistakes that I had to read some of the lines multiple times to understand them. My hunch is that he was drunk because he's very proficient in English, both speaking and writing. I only gathered a few things from the email, that he was sorry and he didn't want to ruin our marriage like this, and that his affair had nothing to do with me and I was too good for him and whatnot. It all just seemed pathetic and I felt so disgusted by him. I wasn't planning on replying, but I ended up writing a short email back. I told him when I'll be filing the petition for divorce and that he should shove his excuses up his ass in my defense. I was pissed and emotional. He didn't reply to that. I thought that was the end of it and went to sleep. His sister calls me sometime after 3 a.m. in the night and gives me the news. This woman tells me that he committed suicide by ingesting my Mills sleeping pills. I didn't believe it at first, but she's sobbing and screaming on the other side of the phone, so it was obviously real. To be honest, even now it feels like I'm in a dream. It just doesn't feel real. My Mill was the one who found him. He's in the hospital right now. I've been sitting in the same place for hours now. His sister didn't ask me to come. I didn't ask if I should visit. She gave me the news and hung up. I called her again in the morning. She told me she'd call me back, but she hasn't yet. I didn't want to bother her, so I didn't call again. I'm confused now. Should I go and visit him? Should I just stay where I am? I unofficially left him in his house 2 weeks ago. We haven't talked except for the emails. He did mention in the email that he had been feeling depressed, but I thought it was another one of his pathetic excuses for cheating. At times, I remember what he put me through and I feel angry and hurt again, but I obviously never wanted him to commit suicide. I'm not going to get back together with him either way. Our marriage is over for me, but I'm stuck. On one hand, I feel obligated to visit and take care of him, but on the other hand I feel like I have lost the right to do that because I left him and don't plan on going back. I don't have any friends to ask advice from, so here I am. Reddit, WTF do I do? Redditor's reactions story 2 after. Redditor 1, if he's so unwell that he attempted to complete suicide, then he's probably better off focusing on his recovery rather than seeing you right now. You would be a reminder of everything he did wrong that lead to his actions. If however his actions were a manipulation tactic to get you to forget what he did by making you feel sorry for him, then going to see him would only reinforce that his behavior works and you risk falling into a cycle of suicidal threats until you feel trapped. Tread carefully. Redditor follow-up, yes. I worked with suicide attempt patients in the ICU, and when they were related to relationship loss, then the ex would show up, get their hopes up, and then have to crush them all over again. You are in no way responsible for this attempt he took, nor any future actions. If you have no desire to work on the relationship, then continue as you have with minimal contact. Be advised you will probably fall out with his family, as their main concern here is making him feel better as quickly as possible, and they will see you as a key component. Ultimately and objectively, the best thing is to stay consistent with your behavior. Sorry you have had to endure so much in a short time. He made mistakes but was still your husband, so I'm sure you have really been hurting. Redditor 2. Follow through. You left him because he cheated on you. Stay the course. While the suicide attempt is unfortunate, that's a complication, not a reason to change your mind. He earned the consequences for his cheating and must deal. Don't feel any obligation to him now, to take care of him or anything else. He has family, and for that matter, let the affair partner pitch in. Op answer: it's just hard sitting here and not doing anything. We've been together for so long, and I feel it's human decency to visit him or his family at least once. Redditor 3. This might sound cold, but he's not your responsibility. He has a family, and they can get him the help he needs. Him trying to commit suicide doesn't magically erase the fact that he cheated on you for months and ruined your marriage. He's obviously hurting due to his own actions, but this is not your burden to fix. Don't let anyone guilt you into anything. Redditor 4. Big internet mom hug. What an ordeal the last few weeks have been for you. You need to be able to focus on your own healing. Yes, it's a tragic situation. Yes, you have a million questions as to what you could have done differently. So now you need an action plan. 1. Breath a sigh of relief. He is okay too. Know he is getting professional help right now. There is nothing more you can do if you were there. 3. There are many levels of complexity to a suicide attempt. However, all of this is on him to figure out. You can do nothing but hinder his recovery with false hope. Tell yourself it's okay to do nothing. 4. Give his family space. They pointedly did not ask you to come. They must have come to the independent conclusion that you would not be helpful. This is not personal. Again, I don't know anyone and believe you need to stay home. 5. See a therapist, counselor as soon as possible. 6. If you are alone, don't be. Ask a friend to be with you or go stay with relatives. 7. Grieve. Just allow yourself to grieve. You deserve it. More internet mom hugs. Story 2. How do I 18F tell my BF 18M I've realized I'm a lesbian? For context, I am a bisexual. Not really? Female. Me and my BF met on a dating website, and he was the first and only guy I matched with before switching to only seeing women. Me and my BF have been dating for a few weeks now. We are getting along well. The only issue is I've realized I might actually not be bisexual, but rather a lesbian. At the beginning of the relationship, he said he was fine with me being bisexual so long as I don't leave him for women. I'm a little suspicious he isn't heterosexual either. We went to a party together in which he flirted with some guys in front of me. He then later revealed that he had kissed one of them at a party on New Year's. He gets really defensive when I bring it up. I've also noticed that he will get hard when we make out but instantly goes flaccid when he sees my biobs, which I don't think is typical heterosexual behavior. He has so far blamed this phenomenon on seeingdoms that are too small. I'd like to note he can keep his B-nair so long as I'm not there or visible. It's really gotten to my head and I'm now self-conscious around him. Maybe he just doesn't find me attractive? Because of all this, I've lost my attraction to him, and considering I have lost interest in all my past relationships with men, I'm starting to believe I might honestly just be a lesbian. My mom and dad keep trying to tell me that I'm dating feminine men who normally end up coming out as gay. It has happened before. I have no idea what to say because my BF is really sweet and genuinely a lovely person, and so are his parents and family. I want to remain friends if we end up breaking up, but I'm so scared of how much it'll hurt him. I'm gonna end the post here before I go on about everything else, but please help. I'm genuinely stuck and can feel myself falling into a depression because of it. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1. You've only been dating for a few weeks. Tell him your feelings have changed and you don't want to lead him on. Let him process the breakup, and if you do end up being friends organically, you can share the rest of the info later on when he's not feeling so raw about it. Redditor follow-up: I was going to write it's only been a few weeks and then saw your post, so yeah. Redditor 2: sounds like you can be the best of friends when you sort yourselves out. Redditor 3: first of all, Don T mentioned you think he might be gay. That's for him to figure out on his own. If you tell him, he'll just get super defensive. You're going to have to bite the bullet and break up with him. And give him some space before you become friends again. If you start hanging out daily after a breakup, things just get super messy, especially once you start dating again. Better to have a friendship break. Redditor 4: regardless of sexuality, it seems like you guys aren't good for each other. It doesn't really matter if he can't get it up for you talking all about how you think he's the gay one. You seem unhappy. Also, him saying he's fine with you being bisexual as long as you don't leave him for a woman is very insecure of him. It's also disrespectful to you. Redditor follow-up: my GF said that to me. I think it's pretty common and an understandable fear. And also, I'm sure he wouldn't like her leaving him for another guy either. Maybe just poor wording or an attempt at nervous humor. Just my 2 cents. Redditor 5: you are both young and it isn't unusual at your age to still be figuring out your sexual orientation. You should just be honest and offer friendship.